there, this is Jen, and thanks so much for joining me today. Today I'm doing my first design team project of the month for the Not Too Shabby Shop, and I will be using the stamp set that is called You're So Tweet, and it's an exclusive to the Not Too Shabby Shop. It's kind of got a spring theme, but it could be used for spring or summer or really winter. It has some sentiments that are pretty much all occasion. Don't forget that you can get 10% off in the shop if you use the code N2S10. Some restrictions do apply. I'm going to be watercoloring today, and to watercolor I'm going to be using my Catherine Pooler inks, and these are the colors that I will be using. And so I'm starting off with a piece of Bristol smooth cardstock, and the first color I'm going to put down is Garden Party. And I'm just going to take my paintbrush and get it wet and go over the bottom portion of the card because I'm basically just creating a grass area and a sky area. And so I'm taking that color and just dabbing my paintbrush. I've swatched the color on a piece of palette paper, and so I'm just dabbing my paintbrush in my water and then in my color, and then placing that on the card. And then I will do that same technique with this darker green color. And then once I've got that done, I will go ahead and add some little grasses in the background just to add something there. And then I'm going to use the aquatini for the sky, and so I'm doing the same thing. I've put some of that ink on a piece of palette paper, and I've wet the entire background, and then I'm just dipping in the water and dipping in the ink and then putting that on the card. I wanted to leave a little bit of white space, so it was like some clouds in the background. And once that is done and the card is dry, I'm just going to go ahead and take those two colors that I used for the grass and the sky and splatter those on the background. And then the stamps that I pulled out are the little birdhouse, the branch, and also the little bird. And then I'm taking my black micron pen just to add a little more details to the birdhouse and also to the branch. So I just tried to add some like knots and lines in the wood. I don't actually end up using the birdhouse, but I thought it made the card look too full, and so I didn't end up using it. So I just put that aside, and maybe I'll use it on my second design team project for the month in about 2 weeks. And I just first did a light layer of the coffee color on both the birdhouse and the branch, and then I'm going to use that green for the leaves. So while I'm doing a little bit of that coloring, I wanted to let you know that in the shop right now, Jamie has a lot of super cool items, and what caught my eye was she has a honeycomb drips stencil. So that stencil, it has honey drips as well as a honeycomb, and it's from Whimsy Stamps. She also has a couple more items from Whimsy Stamps, some slimline dies. What I'm going to pick up is the Fadoodles frames, which are kind of like these, as a stamp set that's got some like wavy partial frames, I guess. And then the cute dragon that Whimsy Stamps has, it's called Dragon Water Fun. I'm going to get those before they are sold out. So if you're interested in checking those items out, she has also just got in some cat scrappiness items as well. So a lot of slimline dies and other dies from cat scrappiness. So if you're interested in supporting a small shop, Jamie is a wonderful place to shop, and she has super fast shipping as well. So I encourage you to go ahead and check out her website. Now I'll go ahead and leave that link below. So for this card, I went ahead and created a frame using some Elizabeth Craft rounded stitched rectangles. And I made a frame out of some white cardstock, and then I'm going to go ahead and stamp up the sentiment for this, which says, "You're So Tweet." So I'm stamping that up in some black Versamark. I never seem to get my sentiment straight, so I have started to use a scratch piece of paper first and stamp it on that before I go ahead and commit to stamping it on my cardstock. And then I placed several clouds in the background. These are Impression Obsession, and they are some stitched clouds. And if you haven't gotten this scrapbook.com foam strips, they are very affordable, and they are a lifesaver, I think. They are the perfect size. They're 1/8 inch, so they fit behind small frames like this. They're perfect for shakers, and I just love them to death. So this branch right here, my sentiment, I should have put it down a little bit further on the card, and so between the clouds and just how I wanted it laid out, the branch did not fit how I wanted, so I just cut the piece of the branch off and then reattached it a little further up so that that sentiment, you can see it for the most part. And then I went ahead and attached the cute little bird. And then instead of the tree house or the bird house, which I thought was a little bit too big and made the card a little too cluttered, I went ahead and grabbed one of the florals from the stamp set and colored it up. And then I just created a little stem and some leaves for that flower, and that will complete the card. I hope you enjoyed. If you did like this video or find it informative, please go ahead and give me a thumbs up. As always, my supplies will be linked below. Thank you so much for taking some time out of your day to spend with me, and I will catch you next time.